Brodes Media.
How inspiring, fellas. So proud of you. I mean, you make me sick. After how the ninth inning ended against the Nationals, after having an off day Monday, you couldn't look more like a joke. The top of the lineup. You know what? No. 2 hours before first pitch, I have to read from Matt Gelb of The Athletic that there's still no lineup because Rob is figuring out who has wear and tear after they hit the cages. If I'm just going to speculate due to context clues here, Bryce, no go against the Nats. In a spot where it's managerial malpractice to not pinch hit him. So something was up. And now, just about 2 hours before the game even begins, we're not sure who can get the nod or not. Bryce is probably dealing with something more serious than led on to believe. With that thought, though, knowing the Phillies are super soft and they will never put anyone in harm's way, with the main focus of October being in the forefront of their mind, it's not that bad, or else he wouldn't be even putting on the cleats and putting on the uniform to step in the batter's box. So it's probably limiting him way more than he would like to admit, but not enough where the Phillies have to step in and not even put his name on the lineup card. Now, if we're going to get 3 strikeouts, then maybe it's not even worth it, and we give him some time and rest. But if this is the effort we're getting from Bryce after 2 days off, this is him well rested against your hated rival who's extremely banged up, and you should be smoking him. This should be so not competitive. I want to be up 7 runs. I want to be up 6 runs, especially with the way Zach Wheeler was pitching. Sure, Ozuna took one for a damn ride. Tip your cap, but the way Zach Wheeler threw, the offense needed to step up. Top of the lineup and even the bottom of the lineup. I want to make this very clear. Johan Rojas was not the reason why they lost this game. I've actually been giving him more credit than I ever have recently. I do need some clutch genes, though. Second inning, bases loaded after Brandon Marsh walks. I need you. And then in the 4th inning, once the game was tied up 1-1 with JT Realmuto, Brandon Marsh strikes out, of course. Dude strikes out more than anybody to ever play the damn sport. And Rojas, man on second base, which would be a runner in scoring position, grounds out to shortstop, if I remember correctly. He grounds out. It's the 9-hole spot. Coming up with big moments. Coming up to the plate, that is, with big moments. Not being able to deliver. Sometimes it's going to play out that way. So while I do acknowledge that Rojas hasn't been pissing me off as of late the way that he has had that impact me at some points in my life, that's always going to linger. Bases loaded and then a man on second base. I need runs. And while Schwarber, Trey, Bryce, they get paid significantly more money and they need to do way better as well. If games are 2-1 before you go to the pen, it's a 1-run game. If Rojas can get a double and that clears the bases. That's the game. Just saying. So don't act as if the 9-hole hitter doesn't matter or there's no true impact of a 9-hole hitter. Yes, there is. You just watched it. He left way too many men on. We needed him there. Sometimes you're going to need him. And Mars, too, by the way. He doesn't get off free here. Can you put the ball in play? I beg of you. And no, I'm not setting the bar and putting the damn ball in play. Get a hit! And I'm looking at you, Kyle, and I'm looking at you, Trey, and I'm looking at you, Bryce. You definitely played a big role in letting your team down. And me! And this whole city who was waiting for you to continue what we saw against Washington. And while the Braves are no juggernauts, it's definitely improvement from the slop that gets thrown out there by the Nats. But the way Sunday went down, I'm telling you, mojo was lost. I felt as if I got smacked in the face because with all the positive momentum about turning it into a new gear, Rob pulled the plug out underneath of everybody. The energy plug. Well, why, Rob? Why? You can't keep going back to these ways, of I'm just going to sit back. You did it again in this game. There's no reason why Jose Alvarado is still in the game. Walk. Come on! And how about Jose? Throw a strike. Is that too much to ask? There's a square that pops up on my TV. Okay? Find it! Enough's enough. He's been terrible for way too long. He's unusable now. It is what it is. I don't think you're salvaging it. There was once a time where I had more faith that maybe you could by giving him some more outings. Not happening. He's way off. Walk. Rob, get him out of the game. Get him out of the fucking game. Get him out. And the fact that Lazar gets you out of even more trouble. Who saw that coming? I bet you everyone in the Delaware Valley all had the same exact thought at the same exact time when Lazar came into the game. You're lucky you faced Whit Merrifield, although I was unfamiliar with the new Whit Merrifield. Mr. Triple, Mr. Double, Mr. Walk, Mr. Run scored. Of course. Why wouldn't it go that way when seeing Whit Merrifield? A triple? He blows. He actually sucks. He's got nothing left. The Braves are so desperate. And you let that team take you down with your ace. And then Ozuna delivers. Where's our guys? And I don't want to hear for a damn second that let's recognize how good the guy was on the other side. No. Nope. Don't want to. I expect my hitters to be able to perform better than 0 for 12 with 7 strikeouts, no matter who's pitching. That's the job. 0 for 12. What am I supposed to do with that? 0 for 12. They truly are an embarrassment sometimes. They always know when to punch you below the belt or how to punch you below the belt. And when. Yeah, it's both. All right, let's go to the phones.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I'm speechless after this game, but you know what? People like you are part of the problem. You know, we're back. We beat the Nationals like 2 times. Oh my God, we're so back. And then, you know, here we go again. We're going up against a pretty good team in the Brodes who are injury stricken. So I kind of give the Brodes credit for at least sticking around, even though they have their stars out. We have all our stars back, and we still stink. And then we got our fans saying we're back after beating a bum team like the Nationals. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Don't blame me. I'm not the one playing the game. Yeah, I watched my team win 4 games while acknowledging it was the Marlins and it was a Washington Nationals team. But to be very fair, I thought Rob hurt the team massively for what he did Sunday. And I despised it. And I said it went against all the good things that were finally happening. The team meeting, rallying together, realizing we are going to push forward now and do good things. And then he went against his own word on Sunday. So that is going to negatively impact what we're watching on the diamond. And it sure did. And now there's concerns about health. We didn't even know the lineup. So if guys are that tragically banged up, there's also a reason why they let this nonsense occur. Or why this happened, I should say. I'm not the problem. Am I in the batter's box? God forbid a team that was winning over a 700 clip early on for a good amount of time finally wins a few games when we've been desperately trying to hold on for some light at the end of the tunnel. I jump into it. I'm not taking that slander. Not for a damn second. Don't blame us. There's a reason why I cracked when I cracked. Because I recognized there were some crazy flaws with this team. And by no means did I ever think, even during a 4-game win streak against bad opponents, did I think that they were literally the 730 win percentage team that they were. But there were reasons to feel that they weren't the 8-18 team either. So who would they be? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out, which is probably an issue if we're 10 days away from September and I'm still this curious. I'm aware. But don't you dare change the view from guys on the field to the fans looking for life and doing everything they can, as desperate as it is, to believe they found themselves again. I don't control the outcome. I tell you how I feel on a night-to-night basis. Be mad at Bryce. Be mad at Trey. Be mad at Rob. I don't control the outcome. Let's go to the next call.
Alvarado could not throw a strike to save his life. Why the fuck is he still in the game? Why is Hoffman not up and ready? And then after you walk in a run, that's when you come and pull the guy? Honestly, bros, I was one of the people defending Topper for the longest time. I can't fucking do it anymore, man. This guy is way too fucking passive. I'm convinced John Middleton's comments were directed towards Topper. And we can't fucking have this, bro. We can't have this in the postseason. It's an absolute fucking joke at this point. This guy just sitting on his hands, doing absolutely fucking nothing. Everybody in the fucking world knew that Alvarado was going to walk in that next run, and he just lets it happen. And then you go and you pull him after. It was a one-run game at that point. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable and deflating.
Rob, I'm with you, dude. Rob's been brutal. You're so right. I was surprised he pulled him when he pulled him. I was expecting to see maybe another 3 or 4 hitters. Why not? At that rate, what the hell? Rob, your stubbornness is starting to backfire. Because there's no doubt in my mind, the reason why he gave Jose that extra chance, which ended up really hurting the team, is he wanted to try and prove to Jose, I believe in you. There are times when that method makes sense. It's not a stupid method. It's a timely method. Now's not the time. It's simple. You don't have to dig too deep for this. The Jose Alvarado, don't worry about it. I have faith in you, trick. It's not going to get the result you're looking for. You needed to be quicker on the trigger. Now, I heard Ruben Amaro postgame, and I haven't seen any sort of update about it, but Jeff Hoffman was warming up at one particular time. Jeff Hoffman wasn't in the game. I didn't catch it live. My wife was coming home from a dinner with her girlfriends, and I was catching up with her a little bit, so I was kind of talking to her while the post-game show was going on, so I didn't absorb every little piece of info from what he was saying to the guys back at the studio, Ricky Bowe, Ben Davis, and Barkan. So I had one ear on, one ear off kind of thing. So I don't know exactly what went down afterwards, and I didn't see any update on it. Lazar ended up being the move for whatever it's worth, and that's almost like Garrett Stubbs to me. But he gets Whit Merrifield looking. With the way Whit Merrifield's day was going, I thought it could be a big-ass bomb. I think it's super reasonable, though, to wonder what the hell is Rob Thompson doing. And I was under the impression that Rob's fine. I'm saying job security-wise. Rob's not getting fired after John Middleton's remarks. I don't know. Depends how bad it gets. If I get this, he's screwing up basic managerial decisions. And Middleton's take on the 8-18 spell is, quote, a significant issue. I don't think you can be that passive. You have to be pushing. You have to push people to rethink what they've been doing. Those are very, 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 very loud words. There was another one that was serious. You have to strike when the iron's hot, and the iron is hot right now. You have to make it happen. I'm just saying. This is the owner of the team we're talking here. Hot. Let's go back to the calls.
Brodes, need you to talk me off the ledge here, man. I don't think this team is fit for the World Series. I think it's pretty obvious now at this point. This is not the same team. I mean, you look at the kind of playoff bracket today. Diamondbacks can't beat them. Braves can't beat them. We're gonna have to face one, if not both of those. I just don't see us making it out of that. Of course, Merrifield's coming through with hits. Couldn't do that for us. Glad we sat Harper and everybody, give them this extra rest so they could come in, come prepared today, go, one hit or, 0 for 3, 0 for 4. It's just getting ridiculous. I just think, the more you look at this season, the way it unravels, that, I think everybody was right that, we kind of had an easy schedule, got through it. And now, this team's kind of really showing their true colors. Upset with Dave. Don't think he did enough at the deadline.
I don't either, and I'll let you continue here because there's still about 40 seconds left of this call. But to say that they were only beating bad teams is just not true. There was a sequence where they had the most wins in baseball, or the best record against teams with winning records in all of baseball. So they were really doing that. This whole thing, and we talk about the Eagles as well. They're 10-1 record. Yeah, but they weren't really. I mean, they were 10-1 in 11 games in the NFL, not playing their best football. There is something to that. And this team winning at a over 700 clip for 3 months or so, or that was in the beginning of the season. But yeah, I mean, that's what Middleton said. I was right, the 3.5 months. Why is a team that was winning at a 700 clip for 3.5 months now playing at a 325 clip for the last 5 weeks? That's from the owner. They were doing that, and it wasn't just lack of competition. That wasn't it. We're giving them a free out almost by saying that. But I wish I could help you, talk you off a ledge, but I can't, because I'm on the same damn ledge. You're looking to your left, there's me. You're looking to your right. I don't know, somehow I'm there again. I'm there twice. I'm on the ledge twice. I can't help. But I also agree that Dave Dombrowski didn't do enough. You don't have any lefty relievers right now. Tanner Banks, or you got Matt Strom. They got Tanner Banks, who's okay. He's okay. This Jose Alvarado failing thing is the difference on actually being able to make a deep push or not. Do you realize how important that arm was in the last 2 playoff runs? Now, maybe Matt Strom's dominance can help out a little bit, but with that said, you used to have Alvarado and someone like Matt Strom. If you remove Alvarado because he's unplayable, you're still missing a real piece. The Spencer Turnbull thing's never going to be an option. By the way, he's a right-handed arm anyway. So when it comes to lefties, you could use Hoffman against both. But Alvarado, that was a Swiss Army knife, very creative option for you who could lock you down. It's not one of those going on quietly type of conversations, especially because we just watched him walk 1 billion people today. But when you look at the grand scheme of things and you really hone in on sort of what you need to win deep in the fall, a Jose Alvarado from 2022. Without that, and Hoffman's been leaking oil a little bit. The last we saw Estevez at home with a chance to save a game. He blew it to the Nationals. What happens when the team you're facing actually has real, serious, legitimate offensive players? This Braves team should be 7 times deeper than what they are. Whit Merrifield's out there. Whit Merrifield. And he's killing you. Have some pride. Whenever they lack pride, it's so disturbing. And unfortunately, they've done that way too many times this season. But I'll let you continue with your call.
We kind of knew we had some holes to fill. Needed a bat, needed a bullpen guy. I guess we got it, but no big major move. And I just think that we're shooting ourselves in the foot here because the playoffs are wide open this year. You got the Braves that are banged up, even though we can't beat them. I think it's just wide open this year. Like Jeff Passan tweeted, there's not, nobody is on pace for 100 wins this year. This would be the year. We had to go balls to the wall at the deadline and just didn't. So this is a dud, waste of a summer. Just getting sick of it. But I'll hang up and listen. Talk me off a ledge, please, bro.
I can't. And I just want to be honest real quick. Obviously a little fiery with some of the calls today. I do love you guys. I'm upset. I'm upset. So even if I get a little right in the face or a little overboard here, just know it's the Phillies loss talking. It's not really me. This is out-of-body experience. I'm just not feeling right. I'm not feeling myself right now, and I'm very, very devastated. So if I tee off on you, just know I love you to death, and we'll dap up and hug it out in like 25 minutes, if you will. But the whole this is wide open thing and go, no. The wide open thing is real. It is wide open. The Brewers and who knows what's going on in the AL and who's going to come out of the American League. regardless of how wide open it technically is, I keep stressing the importance of Rob Thompson's delivery, and sometimes the lack of oomph really does bring the team down. You can feel it emotionally. The deadline did that. The deadline did that from the president. So think about it. Manager is sitting on his hands, not acting quick enough. That's leader number one. Leader number two, Dave Dombrowski, no particular order here, of course, is not inspiring enough at the deadline. That wasn't a, yo, fellas, this is the group. Let's go do this thing. Not the way it needed to be. Dave said that in a totally different tone. Instead of, I believe in you, I'm going to patch all the holes and we're really going to make a run for this puppy. It was, all right, I believe you guys, even though you've sucked and you guys have been pathetic. I believe you're good enough to win. I'm not changing anything. Do it! I don't think that worked. You needed positive reinforcements. You almost got a spit in the face. Despicable! Figure it out! That wasn't the right tone for it. Owner, leader number 3. Do I need to bring up the printed out 7-page article highlighted in blue again? Yeah, there's a problem here from top to bottom right now. Something's off. Those are the 3 most important pieces in your franchise right now, and they're all saying the wrong things. Because as much as I respect Middleton's feelings, and I do believe they're valid, that's not good. That's not good. There's no reason for me to have that information. There was never a time. And look, I like getting, it's content, right? It's content, but there is a way to act where, you know, like he says, like this, the city deserves this. We do, but I think you're going too far. You could probably remove 15% of what you deem is reasonable for the fans to know, and you still be doing enough. Why should I know that the owner, when they're going through an 8-18 stretch, is saying that the team's too passive? The manager, you got to look at the coaching staff. Whoa. What's the point of having 3 stories drop like that over the alumni weekend and it not be about the alumni stuff? That should have been the whole focus. That should have been everything. It was great to have Jimmy back. It was phenomenal to see Ryan Howard. Chooch, Brad Lidge. What a special moment. Instead, I'm trying to figure out who the owner is throwing shade at. It's just weird timing. No reason for it. It's not good. It's not good leadership stuff. You keep that in-house. You keep that behind the scenes. While us fans deserve a lot, there's some things that probably should be kept private. And if people want to dig for it, fine. And I respect the hell out of that. But let the people dig for it. You're being too easy. Come on, Middleton. All right, we'll take one more call, and then we'll wrap things up. Let's go to Mist.
Oh, Brodes. Mist. Here's where I'm at with it. The approach at the plate went completely off the rails, again, for most people. Notable exceptions, Bohm. Trey Turner still putting contact, but just not in the right places. Nick's still getting hits. JT still getting hits. Everybody else seems like they're swinging away again, don't seem to know what they're doing up there. Stott and Marsh don't have a clue. They got no clue at all, with the exception of what was probably, in most situations, going to drop in for a hit at the end with Stott. Pitching, obviously, Wheeler, totally passable, fine. Alvarado, obviously, like, we know this about him. We know this can happen, and what comes down to it is Rob not pulling the trigger fast enough. So there needs to be somebody pushing him to pull the trigger on these situations faster. I don't think getting rid of him yet is the right call, but I think somebody that he's supposed to listen to make these calls and pinch hit for guys when they're not hitting, because this team can't just continue to like flap in the breeze.
Wait. So where we're at now is our head coach gets removed from his duties and they enter a new offensive mind with a different philosophy. And now we're so down bad, we're wondering if we can now, I guess technically, remove Rob Thompson from his managerial decision-making, because we got to have people now tell him what to do. And the worst part is that might not even be a bad idea. Because he truly, honestly, has no feel on when to get guys out. None! Some of them, and recently it seems like a lot of them, have been so smack in the face obvious. If you can't get the obvious ones right, then we got an issue. What makes you the best is getting all the right ones right and then getting savvy and creative and getting cute and doing things that people don't think you can. You zig when other teams think you're going to zag. All that good stuff. Rob, you got to get the fundamentals down. I don't even know if he has the fundamentals down. He's taking massive steps back. I see a bunch of Phillies fans crying that it's ridiculous to put blame on Rob here when you're off it. Stop doing that. I hate that. I used to feel that way. I used to think that way. That, well, after a game's over, you just look at a few guys that struggled and said, if they did better, baseball's not perfect. Games are going to be 2-0. Games are going to be 1-0. It could be Rojas up with that 5th inning, with that 3rd inning, with that 7th inning. It doesn't matter what you want it to be. You want it to be Bryce Harper at the plate with bases loaded? Not going to be. It could be Marsh. It could be Stott. It could be JT. And if Bryce goes 0 for 4, but JT, or if Marsh has bases loaded, let's go with Marsh, someone who's been struggling. Yes, Bryce needs to perform better. Marsh had bases loaded for a chance to win the game and failed. That's insanely impactful to the outcome. Just as, if not more impactful than Bryce's 0 for 4. Could be the same. Could be a wash. But it's not, well, why are we yelling about a 7-0 hitter who strikes out a lot when because he had the game on the line and he was in the box. And his job is to perform. And he did it. And yeah, Bryce Harper's job is to perform too. Yes. But it's not this perfect world. I've seen games where Turner, Schwarber, and Bryce all have 2 hits. So you get 6 hits out of your top 3 guys. Then your cleanup hitter even gets a hit. And then the bottom of your lineup goes 0 for 4, 0 for 4, 0 for 4. And if Bryce Harper ended up having, I don't know, bases loaded, and that was one of the at-bats he struck out on, and they end up losing the game, Bryce, we needed you there. But also, if the bottom of the lineup, it's the total package. It's the total package. While the bottom of the lineup needs to produce more, Bryce had the game on the line. It goes both ways. But the whole team needs to get their head out of their ass. Unfortunately, I've been saying that way too many times. Appreciate it, everybody. Love you to death. I'll catch you all on the next one.